As many young people watching will be aware, it's a crazy time when your education finishes and you go out into the big world of work. But imagine if at 22 though, you decided to stand for Parliament. Jonathan Evans, MP for Cardiff North, did just that.
He did indeed, and he went on to have a very successful career in Parliament and in Europe. And we sent Exposure TV's Laura Harris to his constituency office to find out more about his career.
Jonathan Evans, MP for North Cardiff, is based here in Whitchurch, and I got the opportunity to ask him about his political life.
So when did you first find that you were interested in politics?
When I was a teenager, curiously enough, and it wasn't so much a political interest. There used to be, in a sense, sort of youth groups attached to all the political parties in those days, and there wasn't much else to do if you were a teenager. It's not quite like the sort of great social opportunities you have nowadays.
Interesting. Now, Tenebris is a cancer charity which we at Exposure TV are hoping to raise some money for over the next 2 weeks. Our reporter Laura Dummett went to find out about the many ways in which you can fundraise. Let's take a little look.
Here at Exposure TV, over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be raising money for the local cancer charity, Tenebris, and there are plenty of ways for you guys at home to get involved. Exposure Radio also got involved with raising money for Tenebris. They had a blue box outside their studios, which we'll also have as well, where you can drop clothes in and it'll be located downstairs outside our TV studios. So, the clothes that are being donated will go straight to the Tenebris charity. There's plenty of ways that you guys at home can get involved too. You can hold your own cake sale, do your own movie night, or for the more adventurous, Tenebris also do their own skydiving.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning and I've been set an Exposure TV challenge to visit 3 locations in Cardiff with a budget of only £5. So I think we should get going. The first location I visited was Cardiff Library, which is situated in the heart of Cardiff. Cardiff Library is open from 9 o'clock and it's free entry. What could be better at this time in the morning than sitting down with a good book? My last stop was Bute Park, which is surrounded by the beauty of Cardiff Castle. If the weather's sunny, why not come to the park? But don't forget to bring your umbrella because, as we all know, the weather is very changeable in Cardiff. The park is lovely when it's sunny and there's plenty.
Thank you for joining us, Sue. Now, as it's Shakespeare's birthday, we've sent Tommy out this morning to find out how many of Shakespeare's famous quotes the people of Cardiff know. Let's take a look.
Today is the anniversary of William Shakespeare's death and William Shakespeare's birth. He's regarded as one of the world's greatest ever playwrights, and he coined such phrases as "to be or not to be," "a fool's paradise," and "to all corners of the earth." And he's also the guy we can blame for creating the knock-knock joke. We went to the streets of Cardiff to find out how many of Shakespeare's famous quotes you guys know. Did you know that it's William Shakespeare's birthday today?
No.
And could you name one of his quotes off the top of your head?
I don't know. Something from "All the world's a stage and all the people in it," really. Can't remember.
Did you know that it's William Shakespeare's birthday today?
I didn't, but happy birthday to William Shakespeare.
As you may be aware, throughout Exposure TV, we were exploring more of this hidden gem of Cardiff City.
And we've got another one for you now, which took place in the community gardens in Adamstown with Leah and Joe.
Welcome to Adamstown Community Garden. This community garden is hidden away behind the resource centre on Moira Terrace. This secret garden, cared for by the community, is open to everyone. Joe and I went along to get our hands dirty and to test our green fingers. So what's your role within the community garden?
I'm the treasurer for the Adamsdown Environmental Action Group, which is a group that was set up to look at what we could do environmentally within Adamsdown to improve the area for the community. And the main thing that the Adamsdown Environmental Action Group actually do is the community garden.
So, tell me about Gaelic football.
Well, Gaelic football is a sport mainly played in Ireland. It's originated in Ireland anyway. The best comparison probably is Australian rules, which is obviously a professional sport. It's totally amateur, played in Ireland at club level and inter-county level, at various levels from underage, under 8s all the way up through to senior level. It's not professional, it's an amateur sport, so everybody's playing for the love of the jersey and the love of the game, really.
And continuing on the theme of challenges and games, here's a unique twist on alternative games. Remember when you were a child and you played games like tag and hide and seek? Do you ever wish you could go back to those days and just play? A company called Yellow Brick has set up an alternative gaming festival for adults. Tommy went out to find out more.
People spend hours and hours sitting in front of game consoles, but what if you could experience on-screen games in real life? Last year that very thing happened when PlayArc organised the Alternative Game Festivals here in Cardiff. Enthusiasts from 18 onwards made the city centre their own playground. I've come to have a coffee with Natalie Clements, who works for the company Yellow Brick, who organised the PlayArc event in association with ThinkArt.
I work for a company called Yellow Brick. I'm a media director. I run it with 2 other people. My role in the job is to manage all the media content and stuff in all the cool things that we do. A lot of our stuff is aimed at gaming for adults. A lot of adults have forgotten how to play. 18 plus. We're not as accepting of kind of storytelling and stories as we were when we were children. So a lot of what we do is just about getting people to explore being kind of childish, playful, fun again.
We brought the show to Cardiff in 2005 as part of the centenary celebrations for the city and 50 years as capital of Wales. So the city was looking for an event with a strong brand attached to it, a signature event really for the city. And so the show came in 2005 for that. But then it worked so well and we drew enough visitors that the RHS decided to keep it in Cardiff as their spring show, as their first outdoor show of the season, and it's remained ever since. And this is obviously the 9th year of the show now. Because it's a spring show, it's the early one, so obviously it's the first chance for a lot of the exhibitors to actually show their wares, and especially with the winter that we've had, that's been... I think a lot of the guys have struggled to get a lot of their floral exhibits ready in time because of the long winter. But strangely enough, for things like daffodils, which would sometimes be over by now, that's actually been a good thing, that that there's been a long winter. And also I think it's affected us in a positive way in terms of attendance and visitor numbers, because it's the first really nice weekend of the spring, so people have been desperate to get out, and I think today's figures will prove that.
Maria, who's the manager of the Dogs Home, is going to give us some advice for dog owners.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we're clearly here to deal with dogs, stray dogs, and we get lots and lots of dogs wandering around the streets of Cardiff, basically because people have got them and they can't manage.
This year celebrates the University of Glamorgan's 100th anniversary. Many students have walked down these hallowed halls. Today, a past student returns to talk about how his studies have taken him on quite a different path to what he'd originally planned.
I'm Rhys L. Griffiths. I attended University of Glamorgan, studied media production. I graduated in 2010. I currently sort of do bits and pieces in radio. I currently write and perform radio comedies under the form of Kicking Pigeons. We've done quite a few episodes. We've performed live. I also record podcasts all about science, which is quite fun. Space Gravy is a podcast that I present alongside my friend Mia Blundell, and it started with a kind of a conversation we had. I think Mia kind of liked the idea of doing a sciencey podcast, but my science knowledge is very poor, to be honest. I don't know enough.
Space Gravy. Always science, rarely gravy.
Hello, you are listening to Space Gravy with me, Rhys L. Griffiths.
And me, Mia Blundell.
We're talking like sharks. Are they going to be space sharks?
Do you know that leafcutter ants harvest more vegetation in the South American rainforest than any other species?
Oh, thank God that's over. Pub? Yeah, good, you? But I'm really hungry. I feel they do really good wraps there. And it's 2 for 1 on drinks with these pink slips. Let's go.